Okay, guys. Today, well, I had another thing I want to talk about today, and that was Moana. So, we're gonna talk about Moana. That sounded weird as fuck. But anyway, so the reason I want to talk about Moana is because I want to talk about the idea of the voice inside of you calling you to go to unknown places, to places that have never been charted before, and how scary it is. Because it's scary, man. But I want to talk about it very specifically in the context of the song that kind of starts the movie. When Moana's dad is singing, he's singing a song that's inherently like, everything we need is always going to be here, and that's why we should always stay here and we should never leave because everything is fine and everything is perfect, right? And for the most part, it's kind of like, are you sure? But there is nuggets of wisdom, especially when, excuse me, there we go, confirmation, when her grandmother cuts in and expresses that her dad is right in some aspects, right? The idea that you have to find happiness where you are, or you can find happiness where you are, because it's about the internal happiness that you find in yourself, right? So when she says, you are your father's daughter, stubborn in pride, mind what he says, but you may hear a voice inside, and if the voice starts to whisper to follow the farthest star, then Moana, that voice inside, is who you are, right? It's the idea that, yes, happiness does have to start within us, right? And inherently you have to be happy where you are, right? But where you are doesn't inherently, that happiness, because it is internal, doesn't inherently mean you have to stay stuck, right? And then as we go on throughout the story, Moana does, at first she's very reluctant until her grandmother literally passes away and is like, girl, you got to go, and you got to go now. And she's like, I really don't want to go, but I'm going to go. Because sometimes we have to take the leap even if we don't know where we're going, right? Going into Moana 2, the song, I cannot remember the goddess's name off the top of my head, but the one bat goddess that Nalo has captured in the clam, she sings a song called Get Lost, right? And the entire idea is, when you're headed towards something, right, and it's something bigger than you, right, something bigger than you could have ever imagined, inherently sometimes you're not going to know the way that you're supposed to go. There are no directions on how to get there. So sometimes you have to get lost to find out where you need to go, right? So this idea that you have to take the leap of faith even when we can't see where we're going to, right? Because it's not necessarily the destination. Like, yes, the destination is nice, the destination is important, but most of the time it's the journey, because on that journey is where we find who we are. Because we always know, right? Inherently, who we are is intrinsically a part of ourselves. We in our souls know who we are, but we get a little lost in the outside world trying to tell us what they want us to be, right? So that goes back to the, like, you might hear a voice inside, and if the voice starts to whisper to follow the farthest star, that voice inside you is who you are intrinsically, right? Then she gets all the way to the end, and you'll know this is for you if this part resonates with you. She gets to where she's supposed to go, and it doesn't exactly go the way that she planned it the first time she attempts to restore the heart of Tafiti, right? She literally, like, it actually, like, collapses, and she has an entire breakdown where she's like, I don't understand why I was chosen for this. I don't know why I'm here. You need to choose somebody else, right? And then when she's told, well, okay, if that's what you want, then have fun, go home, it's okay, you did your best, she still felt unsatisfied, because who she was exactly why she needed to be the person to do this, right? So if you ever in your head are like, it's not worth it to do the thing that I love, like, I'll never be able to amount to anything with it, or da 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 da, and you set it down and then you still feel unsatisfied, you're like, but why isn't it begging me to stay? It's because, girl, you need to make that choice yourself. You have to make that first initial, like, when you have that voice that's like, well, it's insignificant, so we'll just put it away, and then you feel unfulfilled because it's not beckoning you back. It's because at that moment you have to decide that this is for you. This is who you are. You have to go for it, right? And then the idea that it's not, once again, it's a leap. So when we get to the destination, the expectations aren't always going to be exactly the way we planned it. In the first Moana, she wasn't expecting Te Kā to literally be Te right? And then in the second one, no one was expecting her. They were like, yeah, we have to pull the island up out of the ground to get someone to step on it. And when that was inviolable, she dove to the bottom of the sea to touch ground on it, to break the curse. Sometimes the solutions aren't exactly the way that we think they're going to be. But that is why we have to be on the journey to know who we are. Because once we know who we are, we know how we can solve this problem, how we can work towards our betterment, to help those around us, to help our communities, right? Because inherently that's what she wanted to do. Is she was fighting the idea of, I'm the village chief and I want to go out to sea. And then she found out those things aren't mutually exclusive. You can be a leader and follow your passions. You just have to find who you are and how these things align with each other. Alright, that's all I got today. Like, for real, all I got today. Alright, bye guys.